Hello and welcome to the program Tech Talk. I am Dorcas Yakubuzala. Today on the program, we'll be talking about virtual reality, also known as VR, a computer-generated simulation of a three-dimensional environment that can be experienced by a person through a special headset, gloves, and other accessories. The technology creates a realistic, immersive experience, often using a combination of visual, auditory, and haptic feedback. Users can interact with objects in the virtual world, move around, and experience a sense of presence as if they were physically present in the simulated environment. Here's how it works. Virtual reality works by creating a computer-generated environment that simulates a real-world scenario. This is achieved through the use of specialized VR devices such as headsets, controllers, gloves, and sensors. The headset displays images on a screen that is positioned close to the user's eyes, creating a 3D visual experience. The sensors track the user's movements, allowing them to move around and interact with objects in the virtual world. The gloves and controllers provide haptic feedback, which simulates the sense of touch, further enhancing the immersive experience. There's a wide range of applications across various industries. One of the most popular applications of VR is in gaming. VR gaming offers players a fully immersive experience, allowing them to interact with virtual environments and characters in a way that was previously impossible. VR gaming is also being used as a training tool for pilots, soldiers, and other professionals who require simulation training. In the field of education, VR is being used to create immersive learning experiences that can help students better understand complex concepts. For example, medical students can use VR to simulate surgeries, allowing them to practice and refine skills in a safe environment. Virtual reality is also being used in healthcare to treat patients with phobias, anxiety, and PTSD. Virtual reality is relatively new in Nigeria, and there are only a few companies that are actively involved in the development and deployment of VR technology. However, there is a growing interest in VR among tech enthusiasts, and there have been a few VR-related events in recent years. VR gained recognition in Nigeria in 2016, and in 2018, a virtual reality summit was held in Lagos. The event brought together VR experts, developers, and enthusiasts to discuss the potential of VR in Nigeria and Africa as a whole. The summit also provided a platform for local VR developers to showcase their work. Another notable development is the establishment of VR arcades in Nigeria. These arcades offer an opportunity for people to experience VR technology firsthand. Joining in the discussion today are two VR experts in person of Japhet Johnson, who is in the studio with us, and Arome Ibrahim joining us from Zagreb, Croatia. You're welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
All right, so what is your understanding of virtual reality?
Okay, so virtual reality is a 3D modeled environment by computer for people to experience or be immersed in the process of learning and interaction with the virtual world. So it has to do with 3D models that is not really physical for you, but you'll be able to experience by wearing some gadgets.
Okay, so what are these gadgets?
Okay, so first is the VR headset, which is the virtual reality headset. Now it allows you to interact. It has trackers, and it can also track your eyes and track your body. So it allows you to interact with 3D models on the environment.
So coming to you, Arome, what are the different types of virtual reality?
So at the moment we have, depending on the project or the product, right, we have 2D and 3D. So VR 2D in terms of you use your mobile device. So it's a VR experience on your maybe Android or iPhone, right? It's not that immersive, but a 3D environment is whereby you are giving a headset, right? So you're more immersed in the environment, right? So based on the kind of experience creating, you have a 2D experience and have a 3D experience.
Okay, so we have virtual reality, we have mixed reality, we have augmented reality. Let me just give a difference between those. So virtual reality has to do with the 3D model that you've been placed after wearing the gadget, but augmented reality means an enhanced information that's added on a gadget. So it can be your watch, possibly it has a hologram that can display additional information. So you are seeing the reality, but you are augmenting with additional data. But virtual reality, as I've said, you have to wear the glasses, you see totally 3D. But augmented means you can have Google glasses that can add data on the screen. You can see some new cars now on the windscreen. You can see added information on the windscreen. So those are augmented reality. Then the mixed reality has to do with both. Okay, it mixes both the virtual reality and the augmented reality. That's the mixed reality.
Okay, so how are these related? Because nowadays we hear metaverse, we hear augmented reality, just as you said. How are all these related, or how do they differ?
Okay, so the common point is we are going into a life where immersion has to be put in place now, because we are trying to. This is the first time in history where man is trying to see the power of the eye. Okay, we have had a lot of music which is actually going towards the ears,
yes.
But now we are going into an evolution where we want to see the power of eye. So what these things are coming to do is to give you a total immersion. Okay, when you are learning with your natural eyes, there are a lot of distractions. But what VR or what virtual reality are coming to do is to give you total immersion, so that you'll be able to learn faster and interact better with the environment.
Okay, so those are
so they're just coming together to give you a better experience of what life should be.
So how do they differ?
So the difference is, as I've said, is in the application. Virtual realities, you have to see the 3D model. Augmented reality, we add them to devices, your phone, your gadget. They are just additions of they're just enhancing information, just like your phone.
Okay.
If you are using your camera, you can have added information. So the difference is just in the applications.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So can you give us example of these applications?
Okay.
Some of these applications.
Okay. One is Tilt Brush by Google.
Okay.
So it allows creative artists to draw 3D models using the VR. There is Gran Turismo, where you can simulate driving. So then we have job simulators, where you can wear your VR, you can see job assigned to you. After finishing the job, you get paid. You can go to different malls, go to different shops. So there are different applications of this headset. In fact, one of the interesting ones is in the agro now, where cows actually wear VR now. And so what it does to them is calm them down. It helps them produce milk faster.
Wow.
So there are so many applications. So look at agro, we are looking at therapy. A lot of hospitals are looking at, okay, how can they even calm their patients with the VR. So it helps a lot. There are several applications that we have not even explored even enough.
Okay. So how does VR work?
Okay, as I've said, it's a 3D model. First of all, you need to wear the VR headset. Okay. So it encloses your eyes to a two lens in it. So what happens is that there are environments that have been built. So I can have a VR content that displays maybe Jerusalem. So the entire content is that you want to see the real life of how Jerusalem looks in 3D. I can decide to say, okay, I'm going to model the whole of, let's say, Yankari Game Reserve. So what happens the moment I wear the headset, it takes me to Yankari Game Reserve, and I'll be able to turn 360. The idea is wheresoever you turn, there is a content to display for you, and you can be able to interact with with objects inside.
Oh, wow. So what role do you think virtual reality is currently playing in the society today?
So virtual reality is playing a major role, even though here in Nigeria, where majorly we just start seeing the place of entertainment being explored, where people go to play games in the VR. But I feel we should know that there is more to it. And one of it is we should try to look at it's playing a huge role in the education system now, where children are being immersed in learning. Rather than just reading and maybe somebody pass and you get distracted. Children can actually learn faster using the VR. A report was actually done that some nurses were trained, but because they were trained using the VR, they were able to finish their courses and they learned better because there were less distraction. So we can use it for education, We can use it for therapy, that's for the hospitals, and even businesses now. So we can see how even Facebook, which transformed to Meta, are putting a lot of money in that, because the next phase of human communication is going to go via the virtual reality.
What role do you think virtual reality and the metaverse will play in the future in the industry, such as entertainment, education, health, and all of that?
Just like I've said, the entertainment part, we are seeing people go to play games, but imagine going to a concert wearing VR headset from your home. Like, you don't need to go physically, but you can wear the VR headset and stand, and you can see your artist performing. So we are going to see a lot of that. We can see entertainment where it has to do with games. A lot, I've said, people are playing game, Gran Turismo. People actually, for Meta, Oculus Quest now, you can wear your headset, interact with your friends, you can go hang out with your friends from the comfort of your room, and you'll be able to see your friend like in the VR world there, and you'll be able to go around, discuss. He hears you, you hear him. So the same thing again when it goes to like the education, I've said, okay, we can use it to train it, reduce distraction, because the major aim is for that full immersion. Then for the health, we're looking at how can it be used for therapy. Even agro has said you can use it to calm animals. They're already practicing that now with cows to help them produce more milk. So there's a lot of applications. It's just even beyond the three you have just asked. There's a lot, from tech to businesses to interactions to social communications, and a lot.
So does VR have applications in agriculture and all of that? Because you've mentioned health, entertainment, and all, education.
Yes.
So what about agriculture?
So that's where I said is the content.
Okay.
So now that's why I said they are trying to look at how can they even improve cows to make more milk.
Wow.
So what they do is they wear the headset on the cow's eyes, and what they do is they produce a content that helps the cow to lactate and produce more milk.
So do you see VR taking over these sectors? Because I can see it's used in education, it's used in the health sector. Do you see it's like being the center of attraction and everybody's forgetting about the old ways we know?
Okay,
everybody
so
just focusing on
I think
VR.
the general idea around it is technology is taking a lot of things now, and AI is coming to improve it. VR is just a plugin on what's happening there. Okay, so when tech comes, it brings a lot of things. People will come with VR, people are coming with unmanned machines in the farm. It's not actually VR, but imagine controlling your tractors while in your house and they're working in the farm. So the entire technology is coming with different applications, and at the end of the day, man will just have to sit down and just control them to do the remaining work. So VR is not taking everything, but it's coming to help what tech is providing to help us operate better.
Can you give an example of a successful virtual reality application and explain why it was successful?
I'll give you an example of the Pokemon Go. Right, so the Pokemon Go is an AR experience that was launched like 2 years back, right? Whereby people they place like augmented reality, more like gifts spread across locations in the city. Right, so what people had to do was to take up their devices, right? If they see any particular QR code, right, they can scan it and have access to those gifts, right? So it's more like they are a real, maybe, how do I put it, like a real game environment. So you're working and you'll be seeing 3D models moving around with you and engaging with you, right? So people had the opportunity to engage 3D models with their environment. So no matter where they are, America, China, Nigeria, you could play that game and win actual rewards using that mobile AR experiences.
There are a lot of concerns about emerging technologies such as AI, VR, and all of that. So, do you see them taking over people's jobs, or do you see them creating more job opportunities for people?
Okay, so the basic concern I've been hearing a lot of people complain about AI is coming to take jobs, AI is coming to disrupt the entire market. Yes, I think when we refuse to evolve and learn more, and definitely AI is going to replace you. AI is not just going to replace you, but it's going to empower someone that can replace you. That's just the entire concept. So technology is coming to make life easy, but we have to evolve with it. Okay, most times we are being stuck with what we already know. So humans, we are so content. If I already know how to do this, I don't want another new way, and that has been a major challenge. Yes, AI is threatening a lot of jobs. So it's funny how I see some people that don't even know how to do the formal jobs, still reluctant to even learning more. So AI is not coming to just take, it's going to empower people that will learn it to replace you faster. That's what is happening.
Okay, so you made mention of virtual reality being used in different sectors such as entertainment, education and all of that. What about the banking sector?
So I think the first disruption of the banking sector is even what blockchain is doing, what cryptocurrency is doing. Okay, it's already giving out that the bank, because we need to rely based on trust and efficiency, reliability. We saw what happened recently during this issue of cash. Some banks were not able to even operate properly. So the bank needs to first improve their tech before you even think of the virtual reality, because a lot of systems are there now that you don't even need to go to the bank to do a lot of these things. You can stay from the comfort of your home, do your transactions, and it goes smoothly. So what the bank needs to look at first is to step up their game in the tech field, ensure that there is efficiency, we can trust what they are doing. You don't have to go to the bank to report a simple issue of, okay, I sent money, it didn't go. Why can't you do it comfortably from the comfort of your home and you resolve it? So where the VR comes into place is, okay, imagine I can wear my VR headset and walk into any of the bank branch, and the same customer support, possibly sitting in his home, has the VR headset, and we go there and interact without me going to the bank. So it's just improving how the normal life of the banking sector is supposed to operate. Okay, but what the bank needs to do first is not even looking at the virtual reality, but how do they need to step up their game in the tech field when it has to do to providing efficient and reliable services.
All right, so talking about Metaverse, the concept of Metaverse is to create an avatar for individuals that will represent them in the virtual world. So take for example, I'm an engineer. How does my avatar represent me, goes to work and do the job for me?
Okay, so as I said, it's a 3D model that carries your characteristics that you can build around. Okay, this is my color, hair color, this is how I operate. The issue is that it doesn't just go to do the work. You have to wear the headset, then go interact with your avatar.
So basically, you're doing the work, boy. It's just that.
Yes, exactly. So you are the comfort of your home. You have designed how you want to look in the 3D model, how I will be able to see you. So possibly you might want to present yourself as a lady or as a man. It depends how any person wants to design his avatar. So it's just giving you the luxury of staying from where you are, but I'll be able to see you physically in the reality world there, and we can go and interact. So
okay, so what about cases of fraudulent activities? Because you said I can present myself as a man.
Yes.
So how would I?
So now that is where a lot of regulation has to come into place, and data privacy needs to be there, because companies that will be providing you with these platforms to create your information need to do your KYC. I need to prove that yes, you are a lady, so you can't come and create a male avatar. Okay, so we need to have regulations that guide companies against data privacy, because it's not all about just having the data there, but how are we sure the companies are not going to use your data or sell the data or do something else with it? So before it even becomes big, I think the Nigerian government needs to start putting up frameworks that will guide against how we build this technology. Because yes, it can be hacked. Someone can hack your identity, and I'll wear my glass. I'll think I'm talking with Douglas, but whereas I'm talking with Femi. And he might just tell me, "Who, Jaffe, help me get this," because it's going to get to a point where we can buy items from the Metaverse. So imagine I'm talking with you and you're telling me, "Okay, let me help you get this VR headset." Possibly you are not the one. Someone has hacked your information and is using your avatar. So those are the challenges we are going to face in the virtual reality.
All right, we'll go on a short break, and when we return, we'll see how these VR devices work. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back from that break. In case you're just joining us, it is a program, Tech Talk, and with me here in the studio is Japhet Johnson, a VR expert. And as you can see, we have the gadgets with us. He's going to be telling us what they are and what they are used for. So Japhet, what are you holding for starters?
Okay, so this is a VR headset.
Okay.
And these are two different headsets actually. So this is the Meta Quest from Facebook, and this is a standalone VR headset. So what this means is that you can actually go on any software, possibly Unity engine, and build an environment. Possibly we can build or simulate an environment like this and deploy it on this particular VR headset for you to be able to view. Now, what it has here, this is another VR headset for PS5. Now, this is something you have to cater to the PS5 for it to be able to work. So this is the one that you can use for your Gran Turismo and you can play games on it.
Okay.
Now, this is the one that I was trying to explain a lot around, because you can build content on this one. Now you can go to Egypt, you can go to Israel, you can chat with your friends, you can play games on it, you can model your own environment and use. So you can see it has 4 cameras. Now these 4 cameras help to track your position.
This
yes,
dots are the cameras.
These dots, yes, there are 4 cameras, and these are inputs. These are controllers now.
Okay.
Now, the moment you wear your headset on your head, now these cameras will be able to track your hands. So they'll be able to connect with this and track your hands, and it will be able to track your movement. This particular headset has haptic feedback. So the moment you wear this headset, possibly you are playing a game and you get shot at, it vibrates. The same thing with the controllers. So they give haptic feedback. So it gives you that real sense of like experience. So maybe you are playing a game and someone shoots you, so it vibrates and gives that feedback to you to be able to understand. So these are 2 different headsets.
All right, so can you wait? So let's see how it works.
Okay, so this is just a simple demo. You can pull this,
Okay.
then adjust and tie it.
Oh,
So if I'm using the controllers,
okay. There you go.
so a sample now, I'm probably, this should be my left or right. So I can possibly play the game, shoot around and do my settings. So everything that happens now, I'll be able to move 360 and look 360.
Okay.
So anywhere I turn on this using this headset now, I see objects and I see complete 360 view of my environment, and this will be able to be my hands. I'll be able to pick out knife or pick any model, or I'll be able to drive or do whatever with this. But this is not going to show my hand, it's just going to show a particular object. Possibly maybe I'm holding a knife, then I'll be able to hold a knife. If I'm holding a gun, then it will show that I'm holding a gun. So it helps to track my movement, and also on the lenses, it can be able to track your eyes. Wherever I'm looking at, you can be able to see where I'm looking at right on the VR headset.
Okay, so this one is one you said they use mostly for games, right?
Yes, for PS. So
Can
this
we
is a
use this
PS5.
in the educational sector and all of that?
Exactly.
Is it this one? Okay.
Exactly. So VR headset, as I've said, is just to display whatsoever content
Help
you have.
hold.
Okay, I'll hold this one.
Okay.
So it's simple. All they do is to display the content. So whatever content I want to build, I can deploy it on either to get it as a PS5 or on the standalone console to play. So the entire idea is, what content do we want to use? One of the ideas we are looking at is giving experience, more especially for people that are traveling and the real estate. So we have
Which one? This one or this one?
No, any of them.
Okay,
I
any
said
of them.
content. So the issue
okay.
is you can go and build your content. So we have real estate companies now. What they are doing is, after they finish building their houses, you go take pictures of videos of the entire house and you deploy it on the VR headset. So when you are going for your marketing, I don't need you to go to the estate. I just wear the VR headset and you'll be able to move around the entire building to see everything we have. So that's what happens.
Okay, so basically both of them are doing the same job.
Exactly.
Oh.
This one is more powerful because this is more expensive.
Oh wow. Okay.
So I think one of the challenges people are having is because of the price to afford this done. I think this is around 550,000. This is almost 400,000 naira. So imagine an average Nigerian would just want to pull out money to buy a VR headset for 400,000 naira. But hopefully, with time, people should be able to afford it, because the experience it gives and what you'll be able to learn using it is more than what you can think of. I've used this to travel to different places to see how other countries look like. So to me, I feel it's worth the investment, and just a matter of time, a lot of people will see the reason to actually start using this.
All right, thank you so much, Jafet Johnson,
welcome.
for joining us in the program today.
Thank you very much.
And also thank you, Arome Ibrahim, for joining us today. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So we'll now go on a short break, and when we return, we'll bring you tech tips. Do stay with us. Today on Tech Tips, we'll be learning how to create VR content. Creating VR content typically involves 3 steps. Step 1, create an outline and goal. then turn it into a detailed flowchart with clear learning objectives. In this stage, instructional designers and L&D teams craft a flowchart that maps out the steps learners will experience and understands how visual elements will create a simulated environment. Step 2. Create assets that meet learning goals. These assets include 3D modeling, 2D graphic design, video elements, and voiceover. During this step, assets must be created that align with learning goals. Step 3. Developer writes custom scripts and makes the content playable through authoring tools. The last step in creating VR content is developing custom C# scripts for interactions that build the project. This way, the project becomes playable on the intended platform, which includes but not limited to VR headset, computer, and web. These 3 steps can be developed in-house or outsourced. The main differences are saving time and having access to expert experience. If you are building a team in-house, you need a developer, programmer, and 3D artist at minimum. When you outsource, you can access more experienced professionals but may have to pay a higher price. Whether you create a program in-house or outsource, it's important to develop a VR program that aligns with your custom learning goals. And that's how we wrap it up today on the program Tech Talk. You can drop your comments and contributions on all our social media platforms. Don't forget to join in next week, same time, same station, for a fresh edition of the program. My name is Dorcas Yakubzala. Goodbye.